Hi, this is Krishna Das from Sydney, Australia. So, just want to say a few words about Sadhu Vaswani, who passed today out of this realm. He was absolutely the sweetest man I've ever met in my life. There was no corners in him. He was the sweetest man, not just to me, but to everyone. He was so sweet. He really saw everyone as God. It was incredible to be with him. And he was so kind to me, so kind. He treated me, with so much love and affection. Every year we would do an evening in New York, the last 3 or 4 years, I guess it is, at Town Hall, and he would give a little talk, and then he would wait on the side of the stage while I sang. And then I would go over and see him afterwards. And last year, after singing, I went over to see him, and I pranammed, and he wanted to give me some books. So he sent somebody to go get the books, but they were all the way on the other side of the auditorium in the lobby. So we wound up sitting there for quite a while without saying anything. And one of his devotees said, "Dada, Krishna Das is sitting here, but you're not talking." So he just looked at that guy, and he looked at me, and he said, "Ralph Waldo Emerson was a great yogi. And one time he went to England to visit, I forget who he said, another being who he said was also a great yogi. He took a ship, and then he took a carriage and horses, and he finally arrived at this man's house, and they spent an hour together, but not a word was spoken, and then he left. Then he just looked at me with this sweetest smile, and he said, 'Krishna Das and I have said everything that needs to be said.'" That was the last time I saw him. And one time he was giving a lecture in New Jersey, and I was asked to sing there too. And at one point he was doing Q&A with the audience, and a woman stood up and said, "Dada, we live in the South, and we live in this neighborhood, and everyone in the neighborhood uses exterminators for the rodents and the insects. Dada, if we don't use an exterminator, not only do all those rodents and insects come to our house, but then they reinfect the rest of the neighborhood, and our neighbors get very upset with us. What should we do?" And I remember thinking, what's he going to say to this, But he was quiet for about a minute, and then he just quietly said, "Okay, I'll take the karma of that." And I was just blown away, because you don't say things like that unless you know what you're talking about, unless you can do that. And I had been seeing him but as just this sweet saint. But he was powerful too. It was such a joy to be with him. And in fact, we had been invited to Pune. We would have been there last week for a few days before starting the Australian tour. After Japan, I was thinking of flying to Pune to sing for this beginning of his 100th year, I think it was. They asked me to come. And but I couldn't do it. There was no way I could get there to India and then back here. I already had these commitments here. But I truly feel him in my heart. He's a wonderful, loving presence, and he had this great chuckle. He really could chuckle. First time I met him was in Chicago some years ago, and Jeremy was with me. He actually videoed it, and so I went in with the harmonium, and he came out in his wheelchair, and I sang Hanuman Chalisa for him. And this Indian guy, after I was finished, said, "Oh, Dada, when Krishna Das sings, it makes me want to jump and dance." And Dada was sitting there with his eyes closed the whole time. He just slowly opened his eyes, and he said, When Krishna Das sings, it brings my mind to peace. It totally blew me away. He was just an extraordinary being. And it was all based on the love of his guru and his love for his guru, who was his uncle, Sadhu Vaswani, who was a great saint. And he always talked about Sadhu Vaswani, and that was what he had, that connection to the guru. So Dada, wherever you are, all my love to you. I'm always at your feet. Thank you for all your love and kindness. Ram Ram.